James, great to see you, man. It's been a hell of a long time. Congratulations on the little one as well.
Thank you.
Football's back. No problem, man. Good to see you. 1-1, a 1-1 draw, a very disappointing draw considering. Or you might not see it like that, actually. Are you disappointed with the draw?
I've always been called the optimist whenever I come on here, and I can take some positives from this, but I mean, it's incredibly frustrating. You know, it felt like we had a lot in our tank. We were going right to the very end, which I thought was good, but it felt like we didn't have those legs in the first half, and Tottenham looked fitter, stronger, tougher than us all the way through that first half, and that was really frustrating, especially after they scored the goal. It just felt they had the legs, and it felt like, you know, we were playing through treacle for a lot of that first half. It's very, very frustrating to watch. But as the game went on, Tottenham just defended like Jose likes to defend, and gave us the opportunity to come forward. And it felt like Harry Maguire was our number 10 for a lot of that game. And yeah, I mean, we should have done better than that. I wanted to win. I thought we could have won. I thought tactically we had the right tactics, but I think maybe a few players maybe should have changed. I thought Danny James had a really, really poor game.
He did. Yeah.
It was a shame, because when I saw him, I thought maybe his pace could exploit what Tottenham were doing, but he just couldn't seem to get anywhere. He had it
wasn't the game for him, was it? I mean, you talk about the tactics of Tottenham, sitting back, low block, not much space in between the lines. Jose really wanted to obviously take that space away. And he did it to a T. I mean, was that the key to us not doing so well in the first half, or do you see it as more player wise? You know, the fact that you had McTominay and Fred starting in there, did that raise any eyebrows for you? The fact that Pogba didn't start. What did you think of Solskjaer's team selection?
I wanted Pogba to start. That was something I thought before the game, but then, you know, it makes perfect sense that he didn't. You know, he's been injured for quite a long time. You saw the way that Harry Kane played, and he played for 90 minutes, and you know, he was non-existent throughout the whole game.
Horrendous, so,
yeah. You know, could Pogba have been in that same situation had he started? I think giving him the 30 minutes he got is probably the right thing to do for the player who's picked up injury after injury. So I don't think we complain about that. I think, you know, the manager has to take advice from the medical staff, which I'm sure he's done, and hopefully he'll bring him back and he'll become a really, really important player for us. But you know, when he came on, he made a huge difference. I like Fred. I think he got around the pitch really well, but he gave the ball away far too often for my liking today. A lot of the time when we lost possession in midfield, it was down to him. McTominay, I thought, was really good. Did a good job.
You think McTominay was better than Fred today?
Yeah, I think so. I think it almost felt like the ball came to McTominay a lot more, and his positioning was better. I thought his passing was not adventurous in any way at all, but it was clean and crisp. He was giving it to the people who he needed to, which was Fernandes, who was fantastic.
Yeah, he did really well. I was going to say on to Fernandes actually before we go to Rashford, but a couple of different opinions. I spoke to Rance earlier. He said he didn't think that Fernandes looked at it. He looked like he was forcing it a little bit. I thought he played quite well. I think a lot of players didn't look at it fully, but I think Fernandes was probably the standout player until Pogba came on in terms of starting to make things happen. What did you make of his performance today?
Man of the match for me. I mean, people are talking about that Pogba pass, which was absolutely superb.
That was out of this world.
The Fernandes pass that he made, from the pass from Pogba through to Fernandes, and he put it through. That was just sublime. That for me was just world class. You know, the guy oozes class. He's the kind of player who my friends who are Liverpool fans rate Fernandes and love him, and even though they want to hate him. So yeah, I just thought he was fantastic. He's man of the match today by a country mile, I thought.
What did you, Rashford? I mean, was he rushed back? I don't want to say rushed back. That's probably the wrong terminology, because he has come back slowly with the time that's been off. But was it the right thing to start him? I could see the reason why we started him, because we don't have a lot of depth on the left hand side as it is. So you know, but he did look not himself, which is understandable after such a long time out.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, you know, Marcus Rashford is our hero at the moment. What a man he is.
Absolutely.
You know, he's doing some absolutely brilliant stuff that's far above what football is, and very proud to have Marcus Rashford as a Manchester United player. I think maybe today was a case of, like with Harry Kane, he wasn't ready to play for that amount of time. You know, he started, but it's tough, when you've been out and you've had an injury like he's had. He had a cracked spine, didn't he? So having that, it's a tough one to come back from. So players who've been out, they never just come back in and hit their stride. Very rarely do they do that. And obviously 3 months out or 103 days out, plus the injury before that. I think it's expected that he's going to be like that. But we know that he will regain that form that he had prior to his injury, where he's probably the best player on the pitch for us. It's nice to get him and Fernandes pitch together for once as well. I think the first time that they managed to play together, and I think finally when he starts making those runs, Fernandes is going to have a man that he's going to be able to pick out.
We actually created a lot of chances today, and I know it's disappointing that obviously we've come away with a 1-1 draw. But the reason why we're so frustrated is not only because Tottenham stunk the place out and done a Jose on us, but was the fact that we actually, when you look at the chances created before, some decent saves, some really good saves from Lloris, and we had got into some really good positions and was probably a little bit wasteful. Is that one of the positives in terms of actually you can look at this game as actually we created enough on a different day we would have scored more, or was it more than that to you? Was it lack of tactics from being able to consistently break Tottenham down, or was it lack of personnel because maybe Ollie picked the wrong players in the wrong positions?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of everything all in that. It's unpredictable because it's that first game of the season vibe, although it's far more important game than the first game of the season. It was a game where we really should have done everything we can to win that game, and it's gutting that we couldn't get that win. But from a tactics point of view, I think probably the first half, like Gary Neville pointed out a lot in the commentary, but the wingers were just a little bit too wide. And Ollie sorted that out at half time, but should we have done that throughout the game? Would someone like Jose have done that and tried to manage the game a little bit better with the players? So that's something I would like to have seen. But it certainly wasn't a Louis van Gaal 1-1 draw where we have one shot on goal all game and that's the one we got. It was one where we created chances and we're trying to move forwards and we're trying to create these. So, I'm behind whatever Ollie's trying to do at the moment. He's got the vision that we could get behind. He might not be the best manager in the world right now, but he's certainly better than what we've had. And he's something we can really get behind, the tactics and the way he really wants to play.
I was going to finish off and ask you who your man of the match was, but you did say it was Bruno Fernandes. So the last question I will ask you is top 4 aspirations. Have they been scuppered from that, or are you still confident?
Of course it's scuppered because that's two points lost. We don't know what Chelsea are going to do yet. They may have a tricky game. We don't know what's going to happen with them. It's now out of our. It's not in our hands, and it wasn't before this game. But I still think we can get top 4. I think we can catch Chelsea. I think actually is top 4 important because Man City are going to be out the Champions League. So top 5 is really what.
Well, hopefully.
Maybe they'll throw enough money in it to get themselves out. But really, I think it's probably going to be top 5, and I think we'll be okay for top 5. And I think we've got every chance to catch Chelsea. We're a better team than Chelsea. We just haven't shown it enough this season. But now we've got Pogba, we've got Rashford, we've got all the players back that we want to have, and we've the addition of Fernandes, who is just a brilliant player. He would get in any team in the league or in the world probably. He's that good a player. So with our midfield, when that starts operating as a proper unit, I think that can match any midfield in the world. I think Pogba, Fernandes, and McTominay. That's my 3 that I would pick, and I just think.
So you prefer him to Fred then, yeah?
Yeah, I like Fred, but I think Fred is more of an option from the bench. Most people know I'm not a huge fan of Matic. I think he's slow, he's pedestrian in the game, so he's a player I would like to see replaced moving forward.
Don't let Ricky hear you say that. Thanks for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it. We've got 8 games left, so hopefully you can jump on and give your opinion after the following games until the end of the season. I'm free for all of them, mate. So, yeah, I'll speak to you Wednesday. Good. Nice one, mate. Take care. Good to see you, mate. Take care. Take care.